You'll be in the building as continue part two. We're teaching out of L's Quran, written by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, for the HTM. And we're talking about the number 19, which I'm surprised that those who proclaim Islam is not saying it. But, certain people had the responsibility of taking it, using it to the best of their ability, and it's fine. But number 19 represents the 19 angels that's over earth. And these 19 angels, they come in different forms. We were taught that the human being is basically, we are the only human beings on the planet. But no, the insects is human beings. The animals are human beings. The fish are human beings. Anything, a being is one that takes on the shape of something. If you don't take on the shape of something, then you consider it to be what they call a spirit. You see, so when we talk about religion and then we talk about spiritual, two different things. When we talk about insects not being humans, that's because they have not stole enough information to know about that. They're not spiritual teachers that's teaching in the schooling system, public, private. They don't know. They don't know enough. They've been faking it for a long time. So what's happening now, we're having an invasion. We're having an evasion. And this particular invasion is we say not from another planet, but it's from the planet that protects us. Just like we have bacteria inside our bodies, bacteria on side our skin that protects. We have bacteria that harms. We have virus that helps, virus that don't help. And what's going on now is a cleansing. You see, everybody was assimilated in different places. Like Europe was actually calculated. It was named after one of the queens of Ethiopia too, Europa. But it was situated and established so those who had a certain immune system, a certain thing with them. Now this thing, I'll call it a host. They have become a host of germs, bacteria, and it was called, when the breakout of it, when the skin, which is the largest organ, when the skin can't take no more, right? They call it an outbreak. Okay, so when it's in them and they pass it around, now they call it an epidemic because it's not contained. So all the people coming over here for all these years has built up a thing where it's just not going to take it anymore. Who's not going to take it anymore? They're with extra powers. Then you got humans that activate their powers, and then you have the DNA kicking in on many who were suppressed. This suppressing is also called depressed, and the depressed was by what they call oppressed or oppression. And oppression is the rules or policies of those who felt that they had to take the step to rule. The first thing of the genes cleansing from people was called eugenics, and it was done worldwide. Eugenics. So you look it up. Now, certain people have it on their screen over here, eugenics while they talking. We're not going through that too much. So then from eugenics, it went to genetics. Then from genetics, it went to stem cells. And now it's going to biotechnology and reproduction of the information that they have put together as far as growing skin, growing organisms, everything. So now we get into robotic people to do things. So before that, you had other people coming from other galaxies, because this here was a recreational center, a play center for everybody. Okay, which those who had the protection was in what they call the land of Nod. And that's where when Cain slew Abel, Cain had to go. And if you're thinking about it, we're talking about the canon text. And then they saw Tubal Cain with the secrets. And you don't hear nothing about him when he went to the land of Nod. But if you take and read the book, right, which is called the book is called the book. The word Bible is called book. So I say we're speaking about definitionary to give you define these terms, these words, these symbols. It's still the Bible. If you're talking about a book, it's still the Bible. It's called Biblion, Bible. Bible means book. So the book that you have that was translated for, not by, for King James was for his realm, which is ongoing. That patriotic is still ongoing. This is why I tell you how many United States there are, or how many Americas there are. Many, not just one. People finding out that this is a corporation and is well organized, they got very upset. They took what they call slavery, and the mother signed the paperwork for the birth certificate, went to the stock exchange, and they started trading. People got really upset. Instead of putting the yoke choke on it, coming together in full force, living 4 by with each other, and then they wouldn't have a word about it. But that didn't happen. So we're here today, and I'm going to show you about this number 19. We're going to continue with teaching what we call the third eye open. The third eye open, as you see right there, third eye open. Third eye open. All right, I'm going to put the third eye in the third eye. Hold on. Put the third eye in the third eye right there. So now you see me put the third eye in the third eye. So when I talk about putting the third in the third eye in the third eye, right? And the third eye is you. This is yours. That's yours. So you can make one. Yeah, I'll put it up so you can make one. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna put it with the third eye and the third eye. So when you make it this size, right? When you make it this size, there you go, this size right here. Trace it, make it, and put it on. In red. And let people know your third eye's open. You cannot be tricked or fooled. You're on what they call be Muslim. You're supposed to be on Sirat al-Mustaqim. You walk in the Sirat. These things, there's gonna be people calling you. Those who you call yours are not yours. You're not even yourself. You are created by the angelic realm, right? And it was 2 angelic realms. You had the 19 over it, right? That crew, right, which we call Inky. And then you had the rulers of the sky that was doing other things, marvelous other things, other places. And they realized, hey, what's up? No. Don't mess with them. Don't mess with them humans. Let them evolve as we had planned in the heavens. Because y'all don't want to do certain work. You don't want them to do the work. Okay, so what happened was, my crew from the sky we changed the game. Now, that's one thing. So listen, what's going on now is that I'm also Skate Master, Spark, I9, Gabriel the 19th. So I'm working with the Gabriel crew, that crew of revealing things. Then you had Michael the Archangel, right? And he was the warring angel doing other things. Then you had Inky, right? Doing other things. So you had different set of people on Earth, right? And we just talking about on Earth. We talking about circumference. We're not talking about deep in the middle called Shambhala or Gaktara. We're not talking about that part. The cabins in there where people come up at night and then they put on uniforms to appear to be human, but they're not. We're not talking about that because that's just a little bit too much for you. So we're talking about the number 9. So what I'm going to do right now, we already did, go back and you'll see it says Bismillah Rahman Rahim, but it says the Ba Shin Mim Aleph Lam Lam Ha Aleph Lam Ra Ha Mim Nun Aleph Lam Ra Ha Ya Mim. So that's Bismillah Rahman Rahim, which is 19 symbols that represent a lot and represent the characters of those protecting the earth and also protecting the righteous. And those who are not righteous will have to get the wrath. See, that's why I was saying the pray. See, you in a 24-hour day, you can actually, what they call, fall off the path. You know, you have when we talk about spirits, disembodied spirits, or spirits that didn't leave or regenerate within the new child, or animate with the skin and then go into that skin with the woman being pregnant, with all we're not gonna call no names out as far as who started abortion centers and who's doing the vaccinations, you know, for it's called genocide. Okay, and genocide is a program that is used, right? It was supposed to be established to keep up the noble, the royal seed going. But at the same time, people had tunnel vision and didn't understand that they wasn't the only ones that was royal. This is like everybody was royal. So what they did, they started doing things and building things up, and with this slavery, and indentured servants, voluntary service, when you put in an application, that's involuntary service, unless you know your business of what you're doing and you're using that to get to another means, and your networking and business and your learning is different. Other than that, guess what? You're still a slave. Unless you're getting that and you're doing things and you're teaching, guess what? You're still a slave. Okay, so now we went through Bismillah Rahman Rahim, which is important. So when you say Bismillah Rahman Rahim, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, you're getting protection, what they call blessings. Okay, we heard that before, but nobody ever say, well, what is blessings? Blessings, if you look at the word BLESSING, the ing is ongoing. The B, right, is what it is to be, right, and to be less. So you're getting less attention by those 19 angels that's protecting the earth and causing havoc to those who are not on board in the will of the Most High. So they be to you less. They do less to you. So you won't get a sore. You won't get a pain because you will have your thoughts on fire, which is the power, right, in your prayer, and thinking, transferring thoughts, gathering energy. Okay, so now I was told in my last visit, because I come and visit, be like, whatever. I say, whatever. So those spirits, they visit. And this particular spirit is Gabriel. And Gabriel represent Gabori, big, and the biggest, bigger than Akbar. Okay, bigger than Akbar. So The last time they said, well, you're hitting here, and we don't understand. That's not my fault that you don't understand. It's not my fault that you don't overstand or middle stand. Because I'm going to give it out. I'm going to put it out, and that's it. And if only one person view my page, that was for that person. And if they view it 10 years from now as a review of what happened in this 19 over it, and I'm coming out letting you know that 19 is the Quran. What is Quran? Quran is core, which means to say, like cool Allah, say Allah is one. Wahid, which means he controls everything. Okay? We understand that there was deities, right? Prior to that, right? But we're putting everything under the umbrella of Elohim. Okay, why Elohim? You could say Natur, you could say Nefer, you could Naturat, you could say Anunnaki, see? But that's not where I'm going. I'm going with Elohim, you see? And if we change for Elohim, right? Once you get to Elohim, you will find out that those who have progressed are called Elium. And you say Elium and they spell it with the Y, but at the same time, Elium spell it with the U, two U's, to make the two U's a cipher, which makes it the Om, which makes the Omen, the seen and the hidden, and the protector. And that's the womb man, because now we're guiding her properly. It only take one to guide, and then from there it's going to trickle on. Even if that one fall off, right? The species is saved in a generation. So for those who thought they had me in these teachings, you didn't. And now for those, that was before. Just take 2 steps back. Now I took another step up, boom, put it out there. And now I'm here, and they say I'm going too fast. Fast for who? Fast for you? Well, you need to step up. See, I've seen people walk across the street like they walking on the sidewalk. When you walk across the street, it's a different terrain. It's a different variable, different things you have to watch out, traffic, all that. So you double time. Didn't your parents teach you that? Or where was your parents? Was your parents working while you was in the daycare and you was in the daycare and you really didn't go nowhere? So you've been homebound, quarantined for a long time, daycare. School, you've been quarantined for a long time, school. So they have put in the requisites of you being able to maintain this quarantine discipline. Okay, so now let's get back to this. And this spells out the Tasmiyah, which reads, okay, the Tasmiyah begins the supreme mathematics of the protective seal, which is called Khatem, is the seal of the Quran because it's composed of 19 letters. The first word occurs 19 times, the second word 2,698 times, the third word 57 times, and the fourth word 114 times, which is 19, 8, 19 times 3, 19 times 42, and 19. So 19 was this magical number that they put out. So now they got this magical scheme, right, to go ahead and scare those who have clung to them. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to say that right now. Okay? So now, they don't know. There are 19 surahs. The sum of the surahs from the missing Tasmiyah chapter 9 to the extra talisman chapter 27 is 9 plus 10, 11 plus 12, 25 plus 26, 27, 342 is 19 times 8. The Quran contains 6,234 numbered verses. The absence of the Tasmiyah from Surah 9, and the compensating for it in Quran 27:30 gives us two numbers, Tasmiyah, 1 Quran Surah 1, Ayat 1, and Surah 27, Ayat 30, and 112 unnumbered Tasmiyahs. This caused the total number of verses of the Quran to be 6,234 plus 112, which equals 6,346, which is 19 times 334. Once again, everything always adding up to the number 19. The surah's verse, words, and even the letters are mathematically arranged up to a multiple of the number 19. When you add up the numbers of all the surahs plus the verses in every surah plus the sum of verses, numbers for the entire Quran, you will come up with 346,199, which is 19 times 19 times 959. There are 29 italicized surahs, which produce a total of 190,133, which is 19 times 10,007. Again, a multiple of 19. The amount added to the uninitialized surahs add up to a total of 237,786, which is 19 times 12,515. The order of revelation and subsequent arrangement by men were a part of a great plan. So no matter how men tried to arrange the sequence of the Surah or Quran, everything still falls under the code 19. This is only a part of Allah's divine plan. So it says, read by way of your Rab, Master New School, who is a sustainer and Akram, or most generous. It is he who Alam taught you by the way of Kalam, or the quill. He taught the Enocytes that which they didn't know. So this is coming out the first chapter, which we'll go ahead and read the first chapter. We'll begin the first chapter. It says, begin all acts and thinking by using El Kalum, the all. Chapter 1, revealed in the year 610. Al-Akhra, the separation of congealed blood cells, or Ikra, read. The original order is chapter 1. The wrong order that you have in your book is chapter 9:6. Begin all prayers and thinking by using the name of the source, Allah, the Rahman, which means the yielder, who is the most, Rahim, which is the merciful. It says, Muhammad, read in your Rab's name. He created the Enocytes of Aleph. He taught you by way of the Kalam, and sand and seas all bounds. To your Rab is the Rajil. Abdul Jalil tried to hinder Muhammad from worshiping. Okay. Introduction. Reading Quran. Okay. It says, read by using the name of your Muhammad's Rab. Now, the Rab, the master, the Rab is the teacher, Rabboni, the rabbi, which was Master Inki, who, Khalik, or create. So now we're talking about the Master Inki, we're talking about the angelic realm who created man, who did not leave man without the manufacturer's instructions on what to do, when to do, and how to do it. Now it says, read by way, again, of your Master New School. That's where I come into play. I9 Gable, the 19. New School is my name. New School represents the new school for the queens. New School represent the new school for the queens. So, by your Rab, Master New School, who is sustainer. I'm here to sustain that which has already been created. right? The Akram, most generous. It is he who Adam taught you by the way of the quill. He taught the Enocytes that which they did not know. So here we go right here. Nevertheless, surely the insane, the Enocytes, exceed all bounds, because with this knowledge he saw himself with many riches. So it say right here that people had this knowledge, but they didn't teach it. And they signed contractual agreement with those who pretended that they had something on them called money. And this money from the root word amini, which means the all, in the form of a casket called a ticket, or greenbacks or loot. They signed the contract. Was the track is the con, is the congress, not the progress. And they started being actors, they started being rappers, even scientists, school bus drivers, teachers, all these people working in the schools, cafeteria, daycare, all those were put in a program called eradicating, taking out. It's a programming center. Schools are programming centers. That's the school part. Now, once you get to a certain degree in there and they eradicate and take out everything you're supposed to have, now you become a graduate. So it was a gradual process of 12 years for you to get into the first stage. So they give you a diploma so you could be a diplomat. Once you're a diplomat, now you represent those who have captured you and put you in captivation and put you on a low scale, a lowercase, they the capital letters, you the lowercase letters. And then you continue to submit to their teachings, to raise your hands like this, which means prayer or salah, asking question. The quest was the query, and your continuation, and they shun it. When you say question, they stop it right there. You say, I got a question. I got a question. You say, I got a question. Please shun it. Don't tell me. You lied to me. I'm ready to hear your next lie. That's how that goes. Okay, so we're going to end this right here. We have touched on the Quran. And like I said, I'm not going to go past 30 minutes. Sometimes maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, but not that. But listen, we're going to get back with you on this. I want you to like it, share it, read it, write it out, teach it, and guess what? You become a member of the Elohim Society, and I will actually send you the real. I will send you the real. Yes, I will. When I see that you doing what you need to do.